Pisces, do you hear that hum? It's not coming from outside, it originates in the darkest waters of your inner ocean, like a distant, unavoidable bell tolling the end of an era. This is the voice of Saturn, the stern architect of time, completing his long, nearly 3-year tenure in your sign. And his message rings clear and unequivocal: it's too late to wake up. Don't be afraid of these words, mystic. This is neither a threat nor a judgment. It's a statement of the greatest truth of your current life. Imagine all your actions, dreams, fears, and hopes as threads you've been weaving for years into a vast, intricate tapestry. You've woven in the shimmering silk of hopes and the coarse yarn of disappointments, the golden threads of love and the dark fibers of loss. And now fate, like the master weaver, makes the final finishing stitch. The tapestry is complete. The finale is woven. Your natural instinct, your gift and your curse is the ability to dissolve, to retreat into a comforting mist of illusions when reality becomes too sharp. You've always looked for a loophole in the script, a chance to rewrite the scene, to wake up and realize it was all just a dream. But now the doors to the past are locked with a heavy Saturnian key. Trying to wake up now is like trying to jump off a train moments before it reaches its destination station. A station whose route you charted yourself with every choice you made. The river of your life is flowing into the ocean, and fighting this current will only waste your last remaining strength. That's why the cosmos, in its infinite wisdom, gives you the second part of the prophecy, the key to understanding everything that's happening. In this depth, there is a pearl. Understand, the depth into which fate is immersing you is not an abyss of despair. It is a treasure trove. All the shadows you've encountered, all the illusions you had to let go of, all the tears that became part of your personal ocean, all of this was the very pressure that creates something perfect and beautiful within a mollusk. This pearl is your hard-won, crystallized wisdom. It is your wholeness, gained through accepting all your disparate parts. This is the mystical experience you unconsciously yearned for your entire life. But it arrived not in the quiet of an ashram, but in the deafening roar of life's culmination. This is your reward for not breaking. Your task for this period is to stop flailing on the surface, searching for a life raft. Your strength lies in conscious immersion. Dive, seek not an exit, but an inner radiance. Fate hasn't just written the finale, it invites you to center stage to play the leading role with dignity, power, and a complete understanding of the plot. Embrace your story, claim it as your own. Because this finale is not an end, but your true coronation. The coronation of your authentic self, purified of all that is superficial. Don't expect a thunderous announcement or a solemn knock at the door. This cosmic call will come differently. It will begin as a quiet, rising hum beneath the water, like a change in pressure you feel with your entire being long before instruments can detect it. The universe, seeing your tendency to postpone decisive action, is losing patience with hints. It will begin to speak in the only language that can no longer be ignored. The language of undeniable facts. And here is my prophecy for you, mystic. Prepare for the great farewell, not to life, but to its superficialities. Everything that was temporary, extraneous, illusory will begin to be swept away by a powerful tide of reality. People who stayed by your side out of convenience or habit will suddenly disappear from your horizon. Relationships built on self-deception will crack like parched earth. Promises that were just beautiful sounds will reveal their emptiness. Work that drains your soul will become physically unbearable. This is not your choice or your decision. This is a revealing of cards initiated by fate itself. This might seem cruel, even ruthless, like a hurricane tearing the roof off a house you long considered your fortress. But understand, it's not the roof being torn off, but cardboard scenery. The cosmos isn't destroying your world, it's merely clearing the stage of everything not written into the final act. All the extras. All the props that prevented you from seeing what truly matters. This isn't fate's cruelty, but its highest mercy. It is forcibly liberating your space, your time, and your energy for the most important dialogue of your life. You will stand amidst this cleansing storm, and the comforting mist you love to hide in will vanish without a trace. For the first time in years, you will see everything with extreme, almost painful clarity. Who is a friend and who is merely a fellow traveler? What is your true support and what is a beautiful lie? Where your real home is and where is merely a temporary refuge? This moment of truth is the very push into the depths. You are not being asked if you are ready to dive. You are being deprived of the surface to cling to. And in this stripped bare reality, devoid of familiar illusions, you will be left alone with truth, with what is genuine, with those who are genuine, and with yourself, purified and authentic. And in that deafening silence after the storm, when the stage is empty, you must know, the most dangerous enemy has not left. It was not among those swept away by the wave. It is within you. It is the shadow of your past, finding its voice. And now, when you are so vulnerable, it will launch its most sophisticated attack. Understand, for the past 3 years, Saturn didn't just build your reality, he held you in check. Whoa. You felt his icy touch as a restriction, an injustice, like concrete walls rising around your boundless inner ocean. You were forced to conform, squeezed into frameworks, demanded to account for every dream. This period left deep furrows on your soul, a memory of helplessness, of suppressed intuition, of a longing for freedom. And now, with the shackles removed and the cage broken, the sirens of your past rise from these very wounds. Their weapon is not criticism or threats. Their weapon is the sweetest poison of nostalgia. They will begin to sing to you about how things used to be. Not how it truly was, with pain, compromises, and quiet suffocation, but about a version of the past that your merciful heart has already edited, gilding the rustiest chains. Maybe it wasn't so bad, one will whisper. Remember those rare happy moments. Maybe you should have fought for them, another will chime in. This new, clear reality is so cold and lonely. Come back, we'll warm you with familiar lies, they will call in unison. This is your main shadow gift, mystic. Your Achilles heel, the ability to empathize even with your own captors and idealize your own shackles. Your tendency to dissolve into the past, to find solace there. This is the most powerful anchor, preventing you from diving for the pearl. Every time you turn to the song of these sirens, you take a step back, onto the shore of illusions. You try to glue together the fragments of what the cosmos so mercifully destroyed for your liberation. You risk trading your coronation for the chance to sit once more in a cozy but false world that is already dead. Your task now is not to try and drown out their voices. That's impossible. You must hear their song to the very last note. Hear it and recognize it as a call to nowhere, to an eternal cycle of self-deception. Allow this nostalgic pain to pass through you, like the last faintest echo of a hurricane. Do not succumb to it. Do not engage in dialogue with it. Just observe as it fades, because the pearl of your wisdom does not lie in the shallow waters of memories. It awaits you where no sound from the shore can reach, in the absolute, honest, deep silence of your present. In this silence, for the first time, you will hear not sirens, but yourself. And this voice you hear in the silence, it's not just you, it is the mystic. Your essence, your highest office, your eternal role on the cosmic stage. All this time you've played it unconsciously, instinctively, but now, in the empty hall of your world, you are handed your true script. And speaking to you through it is your true guide, your planetary ruler, Neptune, the guardian of the world ocean, from which all dreams are born and to which all stories return. His wisdom is not for beginners. It is as subtle as mist and as deep as the abyss. Neptune teaches reality is merely the most stable, most collective dream. And Saturn, the strict teacher, forced you for 3 years to believe in the inviolability of this dream, in its rigid rules and sharp edges. He made you accept the material world as the only truth. And this was necessary, so that you, the eternal wanderer through worlds of illusion, could finally find solid ground. But now that the foundation is poured and the walls are erected, Neptune whispers the greatest secret of your archetype. You are not here to live in this house, you are here to transform it into a temple. Understand this metaphor with your entire being. Saturn built the form, your new life, your finale, your clear, purified reality. These are the stone walls, the floor, the ceiling. They are cold, echoing, and empty. Capricorn's task is to build them. Virgo's task is to bring order to them. Your task, mystic, is to consecrate this space, to ignite the fire of spirit within it, to fill it with meaning that is not visible to the eye but felt by the soul. Your role is to become the high priest of your own destiny. Every object in this new world, every person who remained by your side, it's not a coincidence, but a sacred artifact on your altar. Your work is not just a job, but a service. Your relationships are not just connections, but a sacrament. Your solitude is not emptiness, but a sacred silence in which the universe speaks directly to you. Neptune gives you the gift of seeing the invisible threads that connect everything. He allows you to discern the divine pattern on the rough tapestry of reality that Saturn wove. This is your main action now. Stop evaluating your finale in terms of good or bad. These are categories of the mind. Begin to perceive it as an initiation. Every difficulty you accepted, every tear you shed, these were rituals of purification. Every farewell, it was the clearing of the altar from the superfluous. Your strength now is not in dissolving and escaping, but in transforming the mundane into the miraculous through your presence, your inner light. You are the one who sees a dream within reality. And in this lies your crown, your power, and your pearl. You haven't just arrived at the destination station, you are the one who declares it holy ground. And so you don't get lost on this newly found land, the cosmos hands you a map. It's not a parchment with directions, but a living, pulsating compass of your soul, pointing to 3 key altars you are destined to consecrate with your presence. The first altar is your life's work. Forget the word job. It's from the old Saturnian lexicon, where everything was measured by status, schedule, and salary. Your finale demands a different approach. Your task is to find not a position, but a service. This is the most difficult test for you, mystic, because you are used to dissolving your talents in helping others, often at your own expense. But now, Neptune demands synthesis. Your work must be both your mission to heal the world and the primary source of your own healing and resources. The practical step here is to stop sending out resumes and start asking yourself the only true question: what pain, in a person, in a collective, in the world, can I alleviate with my unique gift of compassion, intuition, or creativity? The answer to this question is your new profession. Seek not where they pay, but where it hurts. Money will follow, as a natural echo of a perfectly struck note. The second altar is your found value. The storm washed away not only false people, but also false pillars of your self-esteem, external approval, social markers of success, the illusion of your own indispensability to those who merely used you. Now, in this emptiness, you might feel devalued, impoverished. This is a trap. Your pearl is not a beautiful stone, it's a concentrate of experience. And the cosmos demands that you learn to perceive it as your most solid asset. Here's your ritual. Every time self-doubt rears its head, close your eyes and physically feel the weight of everything you've endured. All the goodbyes, all the insights, all the pain you were able to transform into wisdom. This weight is your new gold reserve. Stop selling yourself for compliments and likes. Set a price for your time, your energy, your depth. And be prepared for 9 out of 10 buyers to leave, calling the price too high. You need the one who sees not the price, but the value. This applies to clients, friends, and partners alike. And the third, most sacred altar is the sacrament of authentic connections. The stage of your life has been cleared. The temptation to fill it with new faces, to avoid hearing the echo of loneliness, will be great. Do not yield. Neptune, your patron, teaches the art of invisible bonds, stronger than any vows. Your task now is not to build relationships, but to enter into resonance. The quality of your connections will henceforth be measured not by the frequency of meetings, but by the depth of shared silence. Learn Neptunian listening, to hear not words, but the melody of the other person's soul. Ask questions that lead not to an exchange of information, but to an exchange of inner states. Your people are those with whom you can look into the abyss together and not be afraid. those whose presence makes your temple even more sacred. Every conversation with such a person is a shared prayer. Every meeting is a mystery. Stop looking for a soulmate. Seek a co-worker for your temple. These three paths, service, value, and connections, are not separate roads. They are three facets of a single reality you are called to create. This is not a map to a treasure, but a map that is the treasure itself. It teaches you the most important lesson, how to live in the material world while remaining a mystic in the highest sense of the word. And as you begin this path of consecration, don't be surprised if your primary guide becomes someone you once considered your opposite. The universe, in its elegant humor, will send you not another mystic, not a guru in white robes, nor a poet speaking in riddles. It will send you an architect, a pragmatist, a person whose feet are so firmly planted on the earth that they seem to hear the hum of the planet's core. This might be a strict boss, a meticulous accountant, a straightforward friend, or even a government agency with its seemingly soulless rules. You will recognize this ally by their language. They speak in numbers, plans, deadlines, and facts. In that very Saturnian language you hated for so long. You used to run from such people. Their questions, what's the specific goal? What's your 5-year plan? Where's the measurable result? Long. Felt like a needle prick to your beautiful iridescent bubble of dreams. But now, after the storm, everything has changed. You stand on the solid ground of your finale, and you don't need someone to dream with you, but someone to help transform your temple from a vision into reality. This person won't understand your meditations, but they will see the potential in your service. They won't appreciate the beauty of your silence, but they will calculate the cost of your consultation and help draft a contract protecting your value. They are your hands in the material world. They are the one who will bring to your altar not flowers, but an estimate and a blueprint. And this will be the most spiritual offering of all. This unexpected ally will not ask you to pray. They will do something more important. They will hand you a heavy, empty book in a sturdy binding and say, document it. And at that moment, the cosmos will present you with the main artifact of your new world, the symbol of your success. This is not just a diary, it is the Chronicle of Your Depth, your personal sacred text. Every time you open it, you will perform a ritual of materialization. Every insight that came in silence, every tear that turned into an epiphany, every grain of wisdom extracted from pain, all of this must be translated from the language of feelings into the language of words and recorded on these pages. This is the act of extracting the pearl. You are not just remembering, you are recording. You are not just feeling, you are witnessing. You are transforming your ephemeral inner experience into an irrefutable, weighty fact. This chronicle will become your main financial asset and your most convincing argument. When doubt whispers to you again, what are you worth? You will open it and see hundreds of pages filled with evidence of your strength. When a new client or partner asks why your services are so valuable, you will be able to, without batting an eye, tell stories from this book. Stories of real transformation, both yours and others. This book is your gold reserve, translated into words. Every page is a certificate of authenticity for your soul. It is a bridge between your Neptunian ocean and Saturnian earth. And by keeping it, you will finally understand. You are not just a mystic who suffered a shipwreck. You are the cartographer of the abyss, returned with a treasure map that not only you, but the whole world can now read. But as soon as you begin to chart this course, confident in your new strength and clarity, the cosmos will give you a final maturity test. It will come not with thunder and lightning, but with a quiet, pervasive light and a sudden shadow. I speak of the upcoming lunar eclipse, a great celestial spotlight that will illuminate one fatal flaw in your seemingly perfect plan. This eclipse will not destroy your temple. It will merely cast a shadow on that single stone in the foundation that you, by old habit, laid crookedly. You will be sitting with your architect, spreading out the blueprints of your service, arranging the logistics of your new value, and at that moment, reality will strike. It could be a sudden refusal from a key partner, the failure of a project that seemed foolproof, or a sharp, inexplicable deterioration in your well-being that forces you to stop. Your pragmatic ally, looking at the numbers and facts, will say, This path is unprofitable. This plan leads to burnout. And you, mystic, for the first time, will feel not resentment, but an icy stab of truth. You will realize that even after expelling all external jailers, you left one, the most important one, inside yourself. His name is the Rescuer. Your entire new, carefully crafted strategy, your entire Chronicle of Depth, all three of your altars were unconsciously subjugated to an old, destructive program. To save the world, even at the cost of your own exhaustion. You so skillfully disguised your old pattern of self-sacrifice as a new mission of service that you almost deceived yourself. You were building not a temple, but a beautiful, shining hospital, where you intended to be simultaneously the chief physician, the chief patient, and the blood donor for all who suffer. And the eclipse, like a merciless X-ray, will show you this diagnosis. It will expose the fact that your magnificent ship, built for sailing for pearls, was actually slowly sinking all this time under the weight of others' expectations, which you yourself had placed upon it. This will be a moment of the greatest humility. Not humiliation, but precisely humility before the wisdom of the universe. You will have to take your beautiful inscribed chronicle, your almost approved plan, and cross out its very essence. Not the details, but the intention. You will have to admit that your main task is not to heal the world. Your main task is to preserve the integrity of the one unique instrument with which you can do so, yourself. This eclipse will force you to rewrite the charter of your temple, inscribing in it the first and most important law: the priest must be well-fed, rested, and happy. Only then does their prayer have power. This plot twist is not a failure. It is salvation. The cosmos does not let you stray from your course, even when you yourself are charting a path to your ruin. It gently but persistently brings you back to the single truth: your most important pearl is you, and it must be cherished above all else. And here it is, mystic, your main crossroads. It lies not on a world map, but at the bottom of your heart, illuminated by the relentless light of the eclipse. All. Two paths have opened before you, and both seem sacred. Both appeal to the very essence of your soul. But one leads to eternal slavery, and the other to a true crown. And the choice between them is that final stitch you must make yourself. The first path is painfully familiar to you, to the point of sweet dizziness. It is the path of the holy martyr. It is strewn with the petals of others' gratitude and the quiet tears of those you saved. On this path, you are a bottomless well from which every suffering person can draw living water. You are a quiet harbor, receiving all broken ships. You are a soft pillow, absorbing all the bitterness of the world. And how tempting it is. For on this path, you are loved, you are praised, you are needed. Your sacrifice gives you meaning, and your exhaustion seems the highest proof of your love and spirituality. Your old rescuer program whispers to you that this is true service. It promises you canonization in the eyes of the world. But the eclipse has shown you the price of this path. The well will run dry, the harbor will fill with debris, and the pillow will turn to stone. By choosing this path, you agree to be a beautiful but empty vessel. You build a temple only to give its keys to the first stranger, while you yourself remain to sleep on the steps. The second path is new, frightening, and cold. It is the path of sacred selfishness. It is strewn with nothing but sharp, stony truth. On this path, you are not a well, but a closed spring that gathers strength to one day become a full-flowing river. You are not a harbor, but a lighthouse, standing on an impregnable rock. You do not save every sinking dinghy by rushing into the storm. You simply shine, continuously, powerfully, from your core, allowing ships to find their own way. On this path, you will not always be understood. You will be called callous, selfish, detached. Those accustomed to drinking from your well will accuse you of cruelty. This is a path where you will have to learn to say no, not as an insult, but as an act of supreme preservation of a sacred thing, your own soul. It is the choice not to dissolve in others' pain, but to crystallize your pearl in silence and wholeness. Here it is, your choice, in every single day. It's in the phone call from a friend who wants to dump their negativity on you for the 100th time. It's in the boss's request to work weekends on a project that isn't yours. It's in a partner's silent demand to guess their desires, sacrificing your own. Every time you face this choice, imagine your pragmatic architect. He doesn't speak of spirituality. He silently shows you 2 pages from your chronicle. On one, a graph of your service as a martyr, a sharp rise in others' gratitude, and an equally sharp drop in your life energy to 0. On the other, a graph of your service as a lighthouse, a slow but steady growth of your inner light, which over time begins to illuminate everything around you, requiring nothing from you but simply to be. This choice is not between good and evil. It is a choice between 2 kinds of energy, the one you give away irrevocably, and the one you multiply within yourself so that it suffices for the whole world. The universe does not expect a heroic death on the altar of self-sacrifice from you. It expects you to finally take the throne in the center of your own temple. And when you first refuse to rescue in order to preserve yourself, you will feel not guilt, but a quiet, deep vibration of power. This is your pearl, purified of the veneer of others' expectations, responding to you for the first time. And this will mean that your finale is woven correctly. And when that hum first fills you, you will understand that you have gained something more than wisdom or strength. You have gained a new silence, not the silence of emptiness that followed the storm, but the silence of fullness, the silence of an ocean that has known its own depth and found peace. In this silence, there is no longer room for the voices of sirens, for others' dramas, or for your own inner critic. There is only a steady, deep, unshakable knowing, I am here, I exist. Here it is, your reward, mystic. That very pearl. It is not a beautiful artifact to be placed on a shelf. It is a new organ of perception, grown in the very core of your soul. It is your inner gyroscope, instantly distinguishing truth from illusion. It is your personal reality filter, allowing only what resonates with your true melody to reach you, and leaving all noise, all commotion, all manipulation overboard. Your cursed empathy, which used to be a defenseless membrane absorbing all the world's pain, has crystallized into this perfect resonator. Now you don't drown in others' feelings. You merely register them, like the most precise instrument, remaining in the center of your own unshakable peace. And the greatest treasure this pearl bestows upon you is freedom from yourself, from that eternal rescuer who sought their worth in others' approval, from that martyr who confused exhaustion with love, from that runaway who saw salvation in the mist. You no longer seek a loophole in the script, because for the first time you genuinely like the play. You've stopped dreaming of waking up, because your reality has become deeper and more beautiful than any dream. Your temple, consecrated by this inner light, changes its essence. It no longer needs walls and locks. Your own radiance becomes your main protection. People carrying falsehood or destruction simply won't be able to approach you. It will be too bright, too honest, too quiet for them. They will retreat, not understanding why. Your main action will be your presence. Your main service, your integrity, your main prayer, your calm breath. You heal the world, not by what you do for it, but by who you have become. You are a lighthouse, and you no longer need to rush to every drowning soul. It is enough for you to simply be, simply to shine. Your finale is not the end of a story. It is the beginning of your authentic myth, in which the mystic is no longer a victim of the ocean, but the ocean itself, having realized itself in one single perfect pearl. And this myth you will write not with ink, but with light. Not on paper, but on the very fabric of being. It begins not with a new action, but with a new state that will henceforth become your only true homeland. Remember it. Learn it like a first prayer. Imprint it into every cell of your being, like a sacred tattoo. Here is your mantra, your eternal charter, your unbreakable law. I am the silence in which light is born. My integrity is my only service. Repeat this, not with words, but with your state of being. When the world demands a reaction from you, become this silence. When doubts try to crack your soul, become this integrity. This is no longer an affirmation to be recited to believe something. It is a statement of fact. You are not one who seeks peace. You are peace. And from this center of absolute immutability, You will begin to observe the greatest of miracles, the echo. The universe, like a giant musical instrument, always responds to a purely struck note. And your new crystalline note of integrity is already traveling through space. And soon, very soon, you will hear the world begin to sing along. Your next adventure, mystic, is not a new storm or a descent into a new abyss. It is a dance with reflections. Other lighthouses will be drawn to your light, people who have weathered their own storms and found their own light. Your meetings will not be conversations, but resonance. You will recognize each other instantly by that very inner silence that will sound louder than any words. This will be the birth of your true tribe, a constellation of souls united not by a common problem, but by a common depth. But be prepared for another aspect. Your light, like the light of a real lighthouse, will be seen not only by those seeking a path, but also by those who have long strayed off course. Phantom ships of the past, pirate schooners of manipulators, fragile dinghies of those who want to warm themselves by someone else's fire, all of them will also see your beam. They will steer their rudders toward you, and this will not be an exam, but practice. The practice of your new law. You will not save them. You will not drive them away. You will simply shine, and observe how some, seeing the true path, turn around and sail towards their own salvation, while others, unable to bear the purity of your light, retreat into the darkness themselves. Your new myth is a story not of battles, but of boundaries, not of seeking, but of presence. Fate has woven your finale so that you can finally begin your infinity. And if you ever hear that distant hum again, know, it's not a storm approaching. It's an entire flotilla appearing on the horizon, and it is coming towards your light.